Hey there, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. And today was awesome. We got the chance to talk about bedside manner, specifically training scenarios. So that's what we're going to do today. And I hope that you can watch this video and I hope that you get something out of this. Once again, we are in our last week of our Leadership Academy. If you've liked what we've been doing, please consider subscribing. It truly helps out the channel. And there's so much more content to come. And I hope that you can continuously go on this journey with us. Good advice and good practice. Take out some notes. Once again, whatever you write down, it's been shown that you're going to memorize it better. And for those of you who are completing your free note taker for your certificate, in the next few days, you'll get an email from me about how to turn that in. All right. So once again, today is all about bedside manner training, specifically putting you through different scenarios that you may encounter as a professional. Once again, quick recap of yesterday. We talked about bedside manner, specifically that bedside manner is, by definition, a doctor's approach or attitude towards a patient, or really any healthcare provider. But my definition is it's pretty much a person's approach to another person, a person's attitude towards another person. That's what we're doing. We're serving people. So great bedside manner includes all the following and more: manners, respect, service, understanding, compassion, empathy, smile. And we talked about how great bedside manner equals great leadership. Okay, understanding these fundamentals will help you greatly in your leadership in any capacity. So thanks so much. And then number 4, yesterday we talked about how can we grow in our bedside manner, and I gave you a few steps. It's actually 7, not 6. But learn from great role models. The way they smile, their standards, seeing the impact they make, and being teachable. You know, it's really hard to get great role models, but when you find one, definitely ask them questions. Definitely build a relationship with them, and I'm telling you, they will help you only improve your own practice. Number 2, practice every single day of your young life. I tell young people all the time, if you want a great professional life, you need a great personal life. You need to take care of what's in front of you. So who are you going to talk to today? Parents, siblings, friends. How are you treating them? Because how you treat them, you're building these habits of what's a norm for your life. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and put that into your professional life. Your mission is so important. Have a strong mission when you work any job. And your mission, once again, is what do you want out of life? What do you want to give out into our community? And how do you want to serve others? Number 4, remind yourself daily of what's your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you working this job? When you have a strong why, you're going to have a great career. Number 5, surround yourself with the right people. Number 6, remember, in order to make a difference, you need to be in it for the long haul. It's a marathon. And finally, tomorrow, we're going to talk about compassionate fatigue and how you can combat that. All right. So today's class, very simple, 4 training scenarios. And just like I did it with my students this morning, first, I want them to speak. So maybe we can't speak together right now because this is a video, but go ahead and practice and think about what would I say if this was a question that Mr. Chow asked me in person? And then I'm going to give you a script to practice. So before we begin, I need you to understand, once again, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Your personal life will drive your professional life. It's not the other way around. The better home life you have, the better relationships you have with your family, I truly believe that it's going to drive your success in your professional life. So often than not, we think it's the opposite. Oh, well, if I'm really nice to people at work, I can come home and be nice to my family. And though that may be true sometimes, you need to understand that we're all human and we get tired. And because of that, sometimes we give our leftovers to our family. What does that mean, leftovers? It's pretty much talking about how we give our very best to others, but to the people who really are going to be there for us in the long haul, aka our families and our friends, sometimes we are so tired, and we're not to blame, but we're so tired, and that tiredness is to blame in that we give our family not as much energy, etc. And whenever a customer is critical, we are nice. But whenever our families are critical, how are we treating? So ultimately, personal life is super important. Now, I want you to reflect. How are you like on the road? If you're driving or if you're about to drive, how are you going to be like? If someone cuts you off, how are you going to treat that? Because I am willing to argue that how you treat that road rage incident is what's going to come out ultimately in your professional life. Maybe not immediately, but eventually, because that's ultimately who you are. So control yourself in any road rage situation. Whenever someone cuts me off, I always think, okay, well, I don't know what this person's going through, and I don't know about them. I don't know if they're good or bad or dangerous, and I'm not going to risk that. So I just, even though what they did was wrong, I just excuse it and I don't add fuel to the fire. Right. Number two, argument with your friend. Every person argues with your family and your friend. Right. So that's number 2 and 3. And you've got to understand, how are you dealing with that argument? Are you becoming defensive? Are you explaining yourself? Because if you are, sometimes we're not really listening when we're talking. So really what it is if you truly care about that family or friend, what I would do, and at a young age, and it takes years to learn this, so I'm not expecting perfection immediately, but hear them out and say, hey, tell me a little bit more about why you've been feeling that way. And then instead of defending yourself, say, hey, look, I care so much about our relationship. Give me time. I want to work on this and I want to improve. So I'm sorry that you felt that way and that just wasn't right. That's it. We don't need to, well, you do this all the time as well. Well, so don't tell me to so don't tell me to do something you don't do. I've heard that a lot, and I've said that in my life as well, and it's just not beneficial. When someone offends you, how do you treat it? When someone's late to your party with no apology, how do you treat it? These are all examples of educating yourself when it comes to building these habits of a great professional repertoire and a great person, a great professional personality. A cheapo depot who's stingy but flaunts their wealth. I've met some of those as well. And in those circumstances, we need to look beyond that, and we need to, if you know that you're going to meet with this person, you already know this person, that they don't pay, that they don't, right, and that they're kind of cheap. Well, then ultimately, if you meet with them, and you have to understand, I'm meeting with them because they're my friend. I'm meeting with them because blank, even though we know this is how they are. Right. So that's just what I'm trying to advocate here. Number 7, a person who talks behind your back. Ultimately, no one's perfect. We all make mistakes. We all say things we don't mean. However, how are you dealing with these personal conflicts? Because I can honestly argue, if you learn how to deal with life, then your professional life will be taken care of. Because ultimately, you're going to act exactly how you are doing in life. So bedside manner tips, go and write this down if you're taking notes. Number 1, it's not personal. So don't make it personal. Sometimes it sounds so personal. It's like, hey, you're the worst medical professional I've ever seen. That was a direct attack. But remember, a lot of the times, the problem is never the problem. There's a deeper rooted problem that drives this anger, this emotion out of someone. And so many times they make it pretty personal. But remember, you've got to go past that. It's our job to serve them. It's not our job to add more fuel to the fire. It's not our job to stand up for, right? Sometimes, like when a customer's mad, they don't mean it, but they come off in such a rash way. Number 2, always keep a calm tone. One of my mentors in college did such a great job. He was in a medical practice, and long story short, the customer didn't want to pay. So what they said was, they threatened, hey, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to file a malpractice suit against you. And I remember looking at my mentor and just thinking, like, what's he going to do? And in short, he stayed super calm. And he said, hey, you know what? 1, I'm sorry you feel that way. I truly believe I made this decision based on what I saw in front of me, and I still stand by it. I truly believe that this was the best solution for you. That being said, in terms of the financial point, it's not about me, but I do run a staff, and I do need to pay them, and ultimately, like, there's so many things that the money goes to. It's not just going to me. That being said, let's work on meeting in the middle. Let's find something that works for both of us. And ultimately, they were able to reach a calm agreement. So it didn't have to get out of hand in terms of like, go ahead, sue me. And then what if they actually do? And then now you're in way more trouble than you probably should have been if you just calmly answered it. Tone is everything. Relationship is more important than being right. So remember that. If you ask most professionals, why did you get into this business? To serve others, to help others. So be committed to that. Sometimes serving others isn't just doing what they paid you to do, but it's talking to them in a nice way. And this takes years of training. But if you can get this at a young age, you're so far ahead. And ultimately, I've seen so many professionals with really nice quotes on their walls in terms of like, here's my oath to my customers. Here's my oath to my patients. But whenever I see how they act, I've seen mismatches. It says it on your wall, like, I'm here to serve others, but yet it doesn't come out in the same way. So don't just have a nice quote on your wall, but be committed to your mission every single day. 4 examples and we're done. What if there's a first-time patient to your family medical practice? Let's pretend you're a family practice physician, a family doctor. and there's a first-time patient and they're scoping out your facilities and they're trying to see kind of what you're all about, and you're talking to the parent of the family before the family actually comes. Well, what's your greeting? How are you going to greet them, and how do you build a relationship? So think about that. My response is that, I would start with a, hey, hello, hey, good morning. Hey, my name is Dr. Chow, and who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? And then they'll say their name, or you can ask, and what's your name? And then they'll respond. And then I would say this next portion, which is super important, but sometimes gets disregarded. Well, it's awesome to meet you. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for choosing us to provide care to you and your family. We really appreciate that opportunity. That part right there, it's not just what people already know. It's something that needs to be said. And then from there, since the situation is he's trying to, or he or she is trying to figure out what's best for the family, and you can just sit down right next to them and say, hey, so tell me about your family. And if I take a few notes right now and look at my computer, it's because I just want to make sure that when they come in, I kind of can remember a few things. So like they'll start talking, and then ultimately, like you just ask them, hey, how can we support you? Are there any current needs at the moment, physically, for your family? And then that's it. Just have a conversation and you're done. But do you see how positive that is? Instead of, right? Hi, how are you? Yeah. Like, do you have any questions? Yeah. What do you got? So ultimately, it's all about taking the time to talk to the patient and getting to know them and building a relationship. Number two, you're speaking to a patient who has had a rough past few weeks. That's all of us. And who is taking it out on you, unfortunately. Backstory, they have a very complicated health history and no one has been able to solve it. How do you handle it? What do you say? So my response quickly is same thing. Hey, hello. Good morning. Hi, my name is Dr. Chow. And what's your name? Or who do I have the pleasure of speaking with if you're on the phone? And then you're going to smile and then you're going to get to know the name. Well, nice to meet you. Well, hey, it's awesome to meet you. And I want to say thank you for choosing us to provide care to you and your family. So many times there's notes. So many times there's a whole backstory to every patient, but instead of just reading that and thinking, oh, I already know this patient's situation, this is where it's really important for you to ask them, hey, so I was informed a little bit about your situation. And I'm sorry to hear some of the things that you've been going through, but I would really like to hear your point of view, right? Since I'm going to be taking care of you from now on, can you give me a quick summary of what's going on and how can I currently help? That is so much better than thinking and then saying, hey, so I heard about what's happening. We're going to try our best. And it's almost as if you already know the person without the person even explaining themselves. So one of our speakers talked about today, treat the person, don't treat the disease. Ultimately, it's a person in front of you, not just a disease in terms of whatever they have. Okay. Number three, you're helping an older patient who doesn't speak English well. So they bring their two adult kids into the room to help. How do you handle it? How do you provide care to the elder? And what do you say? Older patient doesn't speak English well. So same thing. Hey, hello. Hey, good morning. Hi. Because even if they don't speak English, they can see how you look and how you're treating them and how you're smiling and how personable you are. Hi, my name is Dr. Chow. And who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? And then you can point at them and then the translator or the kids can explain, I can say their name, or maybe they can say their name. And then you smile and then, well, it's awesome to meet you all. I want to say thank you for choosing us to provide care to you and your family. I would also get the names of the two kids that are with them. And then I would go very seriously into, and I'd say, hey, so we're here to treat this person. And I'd point to the elder. And I'm so thankful that both of you, so I'd say their names, are here to help us translate. So I'm going to begin talking and I'm going to begin asking questions to him or her, the elder, and to see how they're doing. This whole time I'm looking at the patient, not just at the translators. I get it. Sometimes it's easy and just look at the people who are talking, who are translating, but I want the patient to know, hey, I'm here to help them and we're going to do everything we can. From time to time, I'm going to look over at your kids and they can translate kind of what your needs and wants are, being super patient and being super gracious and super understanding. Okay, that's how we treat our patients. And then number four, how do you say goodbye to a patient? And once again, I know today we didn't cover everything, but just a little taste in terms of bedside manner. Well, how do you thank them? How do you make them feel as if they're appreciated for coming in? The quick answer is you just say it. So often than not, we forget that the easiest way to get across to someone is just talking to them. So I would start off by saying, hey, first off, are there any other questions that I can answer for you today? And then they're like, oh, no, we're good. Okay, awesome. Well, if any question comes up in the future, or even like when you're driving home right now, please send me an email. Please call us and I'll write down our phone number and our email. We are here for you. We are so thankful for this opportunity to provide care to you. We appreciate you taking your time out to come visit us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much and have a great day. That's it. Simple. But so often and then not like this go, any other questions? Awesome. Well, take care and we'll see you soon. But it's that extra thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. Let me know if I can ever do anything to help you, etc. It's that above and beyondness that's going to set you apart from everyone else when it comes to customer service and bedside manner. If you enjoyed this, tomorrow we have an awesome video on compassion fatigue, and would love to walk you through how that's real and how all of us need to balance it out sometimes. All right. See you next time.